At guard, the 5'10" senior from Eatonton, Georgia, number 0, Marcus Ford. At guard, a 6'4" junior from Columbia, South Carolina, number 1, TJ Brown. At guard, a 6'5" freshman from Columbia, South Carolina, number 10, Navarro Shepard. At center, a 6'8" freshman from Boulder City, Oklahoma. A 6'8" freshman from Traverse, Michigan, number 14, Malachi Strumby. And at forward, a 6'6" junior from Clio, South Carolina, number 23, Quandavian Nicole. Assistant coaches of the Worlds, Bernie Coulson, Stephen Rogers, the head coach of Newberry College, Jason Taylor.
The reigning Southland Conference Player of the Year has it on the right wing. Flashing to the top is Joshua Scott. He'll fire for three. That one's short, no good. And the rebound cleared down by Day McCullum. Newberry back the other way. 25 seconds in, still no score as Newberry gets their first offensive possession. Again, the Pioneers back-to-back wins against Newberry in the regular season as the Pioneers swept the regular season 73-57 and 73-55. TJ Brown on the drive. Shot blocked away by Brandon Mitchell and taken away by Justin Mitchell. Gibson dribbles into the corner, pulls up, kick out for three on the right wing is good. Three-point basket from James West off the assist from Trenton Gibson, and the Pioneers take the early 3-0 lead here on their home floor. Spinning in the lane, Ford, turnaround shot, short, no good. Brandon Mitchell clears the rebound and pushes it ahead to Trenton Gibson. On the right wing, Mitchell for three. This one's short, no good. Rebound pulled down by Brown, who looks to run. He dribbled it off of the hip of Trenton Gibson. It'll be out of bounds off of Newberry, and the Pioneers will have the basketball. That was an interesting play there as he just kind of lost it out of bounds. Break for the Pioneers, leading at 3-0. Gibson, head fake from three, drives baseline, tries to leave it for Brandon Mitchell. Goes through his hands, safer into the hands of Joshua Scott. Entry pass, Mitchell on the low block, double team comes. Gibson on the right wing, he'll fire for three. Back iron, no. Rebound is out of bounds off of the Newberry Wolves. And the Pioneers will retain possession. 20 seconds on the shot clock as Trenton Gibson will inbound the basketball underneath his own bucket. 18:22 left to play in the opening half. Gibson to get it in. On the left wing, Justin Mitchell Entry pass, Scott turns around, shoots from in front, knocks it down. Joshua Scott gets the bucket, and the Pioneers lead 5-0. On 3 points from Justin Mitchell and 2 points from Joshua Scott. Newberry with the basketball, looking for their first points of the game. Driving. Brown, kick out on the right wing to Strimlow. Picks up his dribble in the lane. 2 seconds on the shot clock. Long range three is knocked down from the outside by T.J. Brown. And Jason Taylor wants a 30-second timeout. We'll keep it right here. Shot clock was winding down. Newberry didn't see it. Brown had to force a three-pointer as the shot clock was expiring, and he knocks it down from way outside the arc. Pulls Newberry back to within 2. And head coach Jason Taylor is heated in this 30-second timeout. And I think it has to stem from lack of looking at the shot clock. I don't think anybody on the floor knew how much time was on the shot clock for the Newberry Wolves. Pioneers lead at 5-3 as Tusculum, who shot 60% in the first half against Newberry in the last outing and held Newberry under 30% in the first half. The last time these two teams met, Tusculum is 40% from the floor so far to start. Newberry now 1 of 3 from the floor. But the Pioneers with the basketball only lead by 2. Still just underway, 2:20 into this basketball game. With it on the left wing, Joshua Scott looking inside. Flashing off the screen is James West. West hands it off the deep left corner, Justin Mitchell. Dribbles back to the top of the circle. Back to Joshua Scott. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Gibson fell down. Now Mitchell has it, and he'll fire a three with 5 seconds on the shot clock and knocks it down from the corner. Justin Mitchell with his second three-pointer of the first 3 minutes, and the Pioneers lead at 8-3. Behind 6 points from Justin Mitchell, and Newberry throws it out of bounds. Newberry was looking for the backdoor cut from the flashing Malachi Strimlow, but the pass was out of his reach and out of bounds, and the Pioneers will have the basketball against full court pressure from the Wolves. Trenton Gibson brings it across the timeline. Now to the top of the circle, and Joshua Scott off a pick. West gets it off the handoff. Brandon Mitchell back to the basket near the free throw line. Hands it off to Justin Mitchell. He'll drive, lost the handle, got away with a travel. May have been juggling the basketball, is why they let him get away with it. Newberry comes up with the basketball anyway. Outlet feed, DJ Brown, wave off the basket. It's a charge called underneath on TJ Brown as Joshua Scott stands his ground and draws the charge. The foul on Brown, his first. It's the first team foul called on Newberry. And the Pioneers will have the basketball on what is the third turnover of this first half already on the Wolves. 8-3, Pioneers lead, 16:35 left to play in the opening half. Brandon Mitchell will handle the basketball at the top of the circle. Hands it off to Justin Mitchell. Coming out to defend. Off of the screen is Shepard. Trenton Gibson trying to get the basketball. Now does left wing. Double team comes. Now Gibson will dribble between the double team. Was stripped of the basketball. Newberry comes away with it. As Day-Day McCollum comes up with the steal. Dribbling on the right wing, Marcus Ford. Ford hands it off at the top. Left wing pass into the hands of Strimlow. Looking inside, going down low to McCollum. Backs his way down on Brandon Mitchell. Drew the contact, didn't get the call, and Tusculum comes away with the rebound. Trenton Gibson in transition. Picks up the dribble on the right wing. Lob pass underneath Joshua Scott. Head fake, puts it off the glass and in. Joshua Scott with the bucket off of a beautiful head fake. And the Pioneers lead 10-3. As Scott gets his fourth point of the first half. 15:30 left to play in the opening half. TJ Brown spins in the lane. Hands it off to Strimlow. Now Shepard on the right wing. Shepard picks up the dribble, needs help. 5 seconds on the shot clock. On the left wing, TJ Brown for a long-range three. Short, no good. Rebound, Brandon Mitchell. Ahead to Trenton Gibson. Gibson picks up the dribble at the top of the circle and hands it off to Justin Mitchell. Entry pass, Brandon Mitchell backs his way down. Kick out Justin Mitchell. He'll fire for three from the top of the circle. Off the mark. Rebound battle for underneath. And Newberry comes up with the basketball. 10-3, Pioneers with the lead. 14:53 left to play in the opening half. Substitutions up off the bench for the Pioneers. William Vetter and Jacob Hobbs set to check into the next dead ball. along with Naughty Legist. Air ball underneath, picked out of the air by the Pioneers. Gibson, nice dish underneath Brandon Mitchell, who reverse layup, puts it up and in. Gibson with his second assist of the game. Brandon Mitchell gets his first two, and the Pioneers lead by 9. 12-3 the score, 14:20 left to play in the opening half. T.J. Brown slows it down for Newberry and gets the instructions from head coach Jason Taylor. Brown for three. Back iron, rolls no good. And an offensive rebound pulled down by Newberry. T.J. Brown to the deep left corner. Brandon Mitchell comes out to defend. Head coach J.T. Burton in a defensive position like he could guard underneath. Justin Mitchell tips it out of bounds and takes us to immediate timeout. 60 seconds from Pioneer Arena with your score. 13:57 left to play in the opening half. Tusculum 12, Newberry 3. This is Pioneer basketball on the Pioneer Sports Network. In the first half, the Pioneers shot a sizzling 61.5%, while Newberry shot just 26% in the first half. So far, in the first 6 minutes of this game, Newberry just 1 of 7 from the floor, while the Pioneers are 5 of 10. Jumper off the screen from Marcus Ford coming out of the timeout. That one's off the mark, and the Pioneers come away with the rebound. Not only is Newberry missing all those shots, they've only got 1 offensive rebound so far in the game. Pioneer basketball. A line change in the game for the Pioneers is Trenton Gibson, the only starter that stays on the floor, and he has the ball. Nice backdoor cut and a look from Trenton Gibson to Jacob Hobbs, who puts it up and in. Hobbs, the 6'7 junior from Elizabethtown, Kentucky, gets his first 2 points of the basketball game. The transfer from Lipscomb University gives the Pioneers their first double-digit lead of the game at 14-3. The three-pointer from T.J. Ford as the shot clock was winding down. The only points of the game so far for Newberry. Marcus Ford, entry pass, tipped and taken away by Jacob Hobbs. The Pioneers come up with the steal. Gibson, here to the deep left corner to Naughty Legist. Gibson, deep range three, short, no good. Rebound Legist, puts it up, no. Vetter gets it, backs it back out, puts it on the floor on the baseline. Kick out to Hobbs. He'll fire for three. Back iron, no. Gibson with another offensive rebound, but it'll go out of bounds off of Gibson and back over to Newberry. Here to the game for the Wolves. Comes Malik Joseph, the 6'3 freshman from the Bahamas. Be a nice place to go right now. As also here to the game, the 6'8 junior forward, Sherman Robinson. He's from the Freeport, Bahamas. Jason Taylor ever wants anybody to go on recruiting to the Bahamas to get those two guys, I'll go. I'm game. .12:35 left to play in the first half. Newberry down 14-3 with the basketball. And Sherman Robinson with it at the top of the circle. Off on the right wing, Malik Joseph. Shot, no. Rebound, put back, put up and in. Sherman Robinson with the rebound, put back. And Newberry stops the scoring drought. Pulls back within 9 at 14-5. Gibson drives, bump, shot off the glass, put up and in. Trenton Gibson with the bucket gets his first 2 points of the basketball game. Push the Tusculum lead back to 11. Pioneer women's upset bid on the road at number 1 seed Wingate comes up just short. It's a final now from Monroe, North Carolina. 1 seed Wingate 56, the 8 seed Tusculum 53. Robinson, instant offense off the bench for head coach Jason Taylor as he's got back-to-back buckets. Newberry now with 7, 16-7 the score. Three-pointer from the corner from the Pioneers, Jalen Crowder knocks it down. Jalen Crowder knocks down the three, pushes the Pioneer lead to 12, their largest lead of this first half at 19-7, 11-10 left to play in the opening half. Wolves with the basketball. Malik Joseph goes left wing into the hands of Robin Bedford. For three from the top, Joseph, no. Foul on the floor on Newberry, and back over to the Pioneers. It takes us to another media timeout. 60-second break from Pioneer Arena. Your score with 11:02 left to play in the opening half. Tusculum 19, Newberry 7. And this is Pioneer men's basketball on the Pioneer Sports Network. We'll go back inside Pioneer Arena. Pioneers with the lead, 19-7 over Newberry. As we also welcome in those of you listening on WKDK in Newberry. Pioneers with the basketball as KJ Crump checks into the game, the 5'7" freshman from Clarksville, Tennessee, as he has the basketball at the top. Now Crump with it on the right wing as Bedford comes out to defend. Kick out on the left wing, extra pass into the corner. Legis for three, shot no. Rebound pulled down by Newberry as McCullum, check that, Malik Joseph comes away with it for the Wolves. Nice backdoor cut on the baseline from Jalen Johnson. Joseph's pass is on the mark and he puts it up and in. Jalen Joseph with the bucket pulls Newberry back within 10 at 19-9. Crump looking for the backdoor cut, spins, now gets it down to the deep right corner. The freshman dribbles back to the top, into the hands of Donnie Legist. Backdoor cut, Hobbs. Kick out Crowder, back to the top, and Vetter. Vetter will fire for three and knock it down. Three-point bucket from William Vetter. He'll say his foot was on the line, call it a two. It's 21-9 nonetheless on the Vetter long-range two-point bucket. 9:45 left to play in the opening half. Newberry with Robin Bedford at the top. Kicks it left wing to Jalen Johnson. Backs his way down on William Vetter. Nice dish underneath. No with a foul, and Sherman Robinson will be to the free throw line to shoot a pair. It's only the second foul. The first defensive foul called in this basketball game. As the foul called on the Pioneers on Naughty Legist, his first. Team first. And the first free throw, no good from TJ Brown. Brown will have a second. 3 points in the game so far for him. And the second free throw is up and in. 21-10 now the score. 9:31 left to play in the opening half in the first round of the South Atlantic Conference Tournament. The winner heads to Greenville, South Carolina to take on the winner of Queens versus Catawba. Legist with the basketball on the left wing. Coming out to the top and getting it is Crowder. Now right wing to Vetter. William Vetter. He went up with it, came down with it, and a reach-in foul is going to be called on Newberry. Going against Sherman Robinson. His first, team third. As the Pioneers will inbound on the baseline. As Tusculum gets Joshua Scott, Justin Mitchell, Trenton Gibson, Brandon Mitchell, and James West back into the basketball game. Gibson to get it in. Lobs it to the top, and Justin Mitchell, and the Pioneers will set up there with 15 seconds on the shot clock. Into the corner, West. Drives in the paint, gets knocked to the floor, gets to the hands of Trenton Gibson. Gibson spins at the free throw line, takes on three, puts it up, no. Rebound, Scott, kick out to the top, and Justin Mitchell. Gibson, extra pass, West for three, got it to go. Three-point basket, James West, and the Pioneers lead by 14. 24-10 with 8:40 left to play in the opening half. Crossover dribble, nice dump underneath as TJ Brown found McCollum, and McCollum will earn a trip to the free throw line as the foul goes on Trenton Gibson of Tusculum, his first, team second. And McCollum, fresh off a 20-point performance against Lenore Ryan, will toe the free throw stripe and shoot a pair. Free throw rolls off, no. Marcus Ford, Malachi Strimlow, and Davario Shepard back into the game for Newberry. As Day-Day McCollum heads back to the free throw stripe and knocks down the free throw. McCollum knocks down one of two, 24-11 now the score. As the Pioneers lead by 13 behind 6 points from Justin Mitchell. Brandon Mitchell with the basketball, holds it high, dribbles with the left hand on the left wing, now needs help. Nobody to go to. Now on the right wing to Joshua Scott. He'll dribble between two. Foul called on the floor. And the Pioneers will inbound underneath their own bucket as the foul called on Malik Strimlow. His first, team fourth. And Trenton Gibson will trigger it in for the Pioneers. 20 seconds on the shot clock, 8:07 to play in the half. Justin Mitchell with it on the right wing. Gibson in the deep right corner. Now to the top left wing to James West. Back to Gibson. Gibson drives. Double team trap on the baseline. Needs help. Kicks it to the top and West. Now to the deep left corner and Joshua Scott. Baseline jumper's good. Not the best offensive set the Pioneers have had in the basketball game, but they made it work on the jumper from the baseline and West. 26-11 now the score. Pioneers by 15. Floater off the glass from McCollum is in, out, no. Rebound Tusculum. 7:30 to play in the half. Pioneers with the basketball, leading by 15 points. Jumper from Justin Mitchell is off the mark. And Newberry comes away with the rebound. Scott and Mitchell now, both with 6 points in the game for the Pioneers. Newberry still struggling from the floor. 4 of 14 from the floor. And another miss from in front, this time from Davario Shepard. Three-pointer on its way from James West is no good. Rebound cleared out by Joshua Scott. Gibson on the drive. Tough shot off the glass with the left hand. Got it to go. Trenton Gibson muscles his way up off the glass. Gets the 2 points. The Pioneers lead by their largest margin, 28-11 now the score. Gibson now with 4 points in the game. Another miss underneath from Shepard and Newberry. Gibson, lob pass ahead to Joshua Scott. Saves it into Brandon Mitchell, and it's off his foot and out of bounds. And we go to break. 60 seconds from Pioneer Arena. 6:40 left to play in the opening half. It's Tusculum 28, Newberry 11. This is the opening round of the South Atlantic Conference Tournament as you listen on the Pioneer Sports Network. 28-11, Tusculum with the score as Newberry will inbound in backcourt. Coming out of the media timeout against full court pressure from the Pioneers as Malik Joseph set to trigger it in for Newberry. Marcus Ford with the basketball in backcourt as he'll be picked up at the timeline by Justin Mitchell. With the handoff at the top, Malik Strimlow. Shepard behind the back dribble against Trenton Gibson. Now just dribbles it back out at the top. 10 seconds to shoot for the Wolves. Marcus Ford. Entry pass down low. McCullum. 3 seconds to shoot. Marcus Ford for three. Knocked it down. Newberry has not had a lot of success on the offensive end of the floor, but they've got 2 3-pointers with the shot clock winding down. That's not an offensive game plan, but it's worked in the first half for Newberry. 28-14 now the score. Pioneers with the basketball in the lead. West to Justin Mitchell, the deep right corner. Now Brandon Mitchell at the top. Brandon Mitchell waits, now gets into the hands of Trenton Gibson. He gets open for three. Front iron, no. Rebound pulled down by Newberry. Malachi Strimlow with the board. Ahead to Marcus Ford. Picked up defensively by James West. Now Ford will fire for another three. That one's back iron, no good. Rebound pulled down offensively by Malik Joseph. And a three-pointer knocked down on the corner. And a timeout called by J.T. Burton. He wants a full, so we'll take 60 seconds. 5:26 left to play in the opening half. It's Tusculum 28, Newberry 17. This is Pioneer basketball in the opening round of the South Atlantic Conference Tournament on the Pioneer Sports Network. Abruptly coming out of the J.T. Burton timeout, Justin Mitchell knocks down his third three-pointer of the first half. He's now got 9, and the Pioneers lead, equaling their largest margin at 14 points, 31-17. Nice backdoor cut underneath as Malik Joseph puts it up and in for the Wolves. As Joseph gets his first 2 points of the game, 31-19 now the score. 4:29 to play in the half. Vetter dribbling on the right wing, waiting for it, now handing it off to Justin Mitchell. Left wing to Joshua Scott. Kick out, Vetter wide open for three. In, out, no. Rebound pulled down by Marcus Ford of Newberry. Wolves into the front court with 4:10 to play in the half. Ford drives all the way to the hole, puts it up and in. Quick first step from Marcus Ford as he got past the defender and laid it up off the glass and in. Too easy, says Marcus Ford. 5 points now in the game for Ford as Newberry trails by 10. Extra pass, Mitchell for three. Side iron, no. It was actually an air ball, and Newberry comes away with it. Driving, shooting, and scoring is DeVario Shepard. So Newberry has had a little success with the dribble drive here in the last 2 trips up the floor. Dribbling in the paint, getting easy layups. 31-23 now the score. As Newberry in the midst of a 4-0 run. Check that, they're in the midst of a 6-0 run. And another air ball out of bounds off of the Pioneers. And it'll be Newberry basketball when we come back. We go to break. 3:20 left to play in the opening half. It's Tusculum 31, Newberry 23. This is Pioneer men's basketball as you listen on the Pioneer Sports Network. Newberry is pulled within 8 as the Wolves now on a 9-0 run. And after starting the game 4 of 16 from the floor, they've made 5 of their last 6 shots and are now 9 of 22 from the floor. 3:15 left to play in the opening half. Newberry with the basketball as Marcus Ford dribbles it at the top. Now on the right wing to Malik Joseph. Joseph waits for it, gives it off to Ford. Ford dribbles it back to the top, directs traffic, and resets. 10 seconds to shoot for Newberry. With the basketball on the baseline, this is DeVario Shepard. Left wing to Joseph, back into the hands of Marcus Ford. 1 second on the shot clock, and Ford has to force one over the outstretched arms of Trenton Gibson. It goes up and over the shot clock, and the Pioneers will have the basketball. Hitting the scoreboard is good in baseball. It is not good in basketball. Scoreboard, shot clock, same thing. Follow me, people. 31-23. Pioneers with the lead and the basketball as Trenton Gibson dribbles on the right wing. Goes between the legs. Coming out to defend is Malachi Strimlow. The entry pass down low. Brandon Mitchell and a spin move but a travel. So Brandon Mitchell with a quick first step, but evidently it was a little too quick as he travels with it and turns it over. And it wasn't Brandon Mitchell with the basketball. It was Naughty Legist. Newberry down by as many as 14, find themselves down by 8 with the basketball. In the corner, Joseph for 3. He's got another one. 3-point bucket from Malik Joseph. He's got 5, and Newberry is pulled within 5. 31-26 now with 1:55 left to play in the opening half. Legist with the basketball on the left wing. Spins, drive, shoots, good. Naughty Legist with the driving bucket, just faces and takes on the defender and puts it off the glass and in with the left hand. Stops the Newberry run. That had reached 9-0. 33-26 now the score. Pioneers nearly come up with the steal as William Vetter got his hands on the basketball, but Newberry retains possession. 5 seconds to shoot. Shot, no, tipped. Vetter had it, but it's tipped all the way out of the hands of Malachi Strimlow. Fresh 20 on the shot clock for Newberry. Driving and dunking is Day-Day McCullum. McCullum drives baseline and throws it down with 2 hands. Newberry within 5, 33-28, 1 minute remaining in the first half. Coming off the screen, Jacob Hobbs. Entry pass down low, Vetter. Right-handed hook shot, no good. Rebound pulled down by Malachi Joseph. Check that, Malik Joseph for Newberry. 3-pointer on its way is back iron, no good. Now the right wing, Shepard. Marcus Ford, he'll fire for 3 and knock it down. 3-point basket, Marcus Ford, and Newberry within 2. Down by as many as 14, and the Newberry Wolves have cut it to 2 with 23 seconds left to play in the opening half. Pioneers can hold, and looks like they're going to hold for the last shot of the half. A first half that they dominated for the first 15 minutes, but the last 5 minutes has been dominated by the Newberry Wolves. Backdoor cut to Hobbs on the baseline, who throws it down with 2 hands. And the first half will come to an end. The Pioneers score the last 2, but the Newberry Wolves come storming back to go to the halftime locker room down by only 4. Down by as many as 14, Newberry trails at the half. 35-31. Again, your score at halftime. Tusculum 35, Newberry 31. Your Pioneer halftime report starts after this as you listen to Pioneer men's basketball in the opening round of the South Atlantic Conference Tournament on the Pioneer Sports Network. Welcome back into the Pioneer Halftime Report. Tusculum leads Newberry here at halftime, 35-31. And look at your first half statistics. The Newberry Wolves go 12 of 27 from the floor, 44.4%. They were 5 of 11 from three, 45.5%, and 2 of 4 from the free throw line. The Pioneers go 15 of 33 from the floor, 45.5%. They were 5 of 17 from three, and the Pioneers did not attempt a free throw in that first half. Newberry out-rebounds the Pioneers 17-16. Tusculum with just 2 points off of 5 Newberry turnovers. Newberry with 6 points off of 3 Tusculum turnovers. Newberry with 10 second chance points off of 5 offensive rebounds. Every time they got an offensive rebound, they scored. Pioneers with 10 second chance points off of 6 offensive rebounds. Newberry with 2 points in the fast break. Tusculum did not score in the fast break. Newberry with 12 points off of their bench. The Pioneers with 11 points off of their bench, as Tusculum leads here at halftime 35-31. Led in scoring in that first half for the Pioneers by Justin Mitchell, who had 3 3-pointers, 9 points, 4 rebounds, and 1 assist. 6 points for Joshua Scott, 2 points for Brandon Mitchell, 3 points for James West, 4 points for Trenton Gibson. William Vetter had 2, 3 points for Jalen Crowder, 2 points for Nadi Legest, and 4 points for Jacob Hobbs for the Pioneers total of 35. Newberry led in the first half by Marcus Ford's 8 points. He was 3 of 6 from 3, 8 points, 3 rebounds, and 1 turnover. 3 points for Dayte McCullum, 3 points for TJ Brown, 5 points for Davario Shepard, 5 points for Sherman Robinson, 2 points for Jalen Johnson, and 5 points for Malik, don't call me Malachi Joseph, as the Pioneers lead here at halftime 35-31 over the Newberry Wolves. Back with scores from elsewhere in the South Atlantic Conference Tournament. When we come back with more, this is Pioneer Men's Basketball on the Pioneer Sports Network. Elsewhere in the South Atlantic Conference Tournament in women's action, the Pioneers' upset bid against number 1 seed Wingate falls short. It's 1 seed Wingate 57, the 8 seed Tusculum 53. 7:01 left to play in the second quarter. The 4 seed Anderson, the 5 seed Limestone knotted up at 15. 2 seed Carson Newman all over the 7 seed UVA Wise, 38-19 with 3:48 left to play in the second quarter. 2:12 left to play in the second quarter. It's the 3 seed Catawba leading the 6 seed Newberry 34-20. In men's action, 9:18 left to play in the first half. The 2 seed Queens leads the 7 seed Catawba 24-15. And with 2:08 left to play in the first half, the 1 seed LMU leads the 8 seed Lenore Rhine 41-22. Your score here, Tusculum 35, Newberry 31. Back with more of your Pioneer halftime report after this as you listen to Pioneer men's basketball, the opening round of the South Atlantic Conference Tournament on the Pioneer Sports Network. And 20 minutes away from one team moving on to the second round of the South Atlantic Conference Tournament and taking on the winner of Queens versus Catawba. Again, Queens leading that one by 9 in the first half, but that doesn't tell you much. Tusculum led this one by 14. 15 minutes into the first half here, and find themselves leading by only 4 as we start this second half, as Newberry will have the basketball first to start the half, and we're underway as Marcus Ford brings here to the front court for the Wolves. Ford to T.J. Brown, left wing into the hands of DeVario Shepard. Ford back on the right wing to Brown. Goes between the legs against Justin Mitchell, backs his way down, spins in the paint, had it stripped on his way up, stripped by Mitchell into the hands of Gibson. Gibson, Mitchell, slam. Started with a defensive play, which led to a transition bucket, which resulted in a Justin Mitchell two-handed slam dunk. 37-31, Pioneers score first to start the second half. Newberry, Shepard, jumper, no, rebound, battled for, and taken away by James West of Tusculum. West trying to go into the corner to Justin Mitchell, is off his feet and out of bounds. And Newberry will have the basketball. 1 minute into the second half. 6-point lead for the Pioneers, behind 11 points from Justin Mitchell. Marcus Ford hands it off to Shepard. Back to Ford. Coming out to defend is West. Ford dribbles to the free throw line, gets bumped, and a whistle. Foul called on the Pioneers on Trenton Gibson. His second first team foul called on the Pioneers of the second half. As T.J. Brown will inbound the basketball side front court for Newberry with 20 seconds on the shot clock. 18:45 left to play in the game. Pioneers by 6. Ford goes to work on West. Holds his dribble, and a 5-second violation going to be called as James West all over Marcus Ford, and it leads to a turnover on the 5-second violation. The Pioneers will have the basketball with 18:32 left to play in the game. Pioneers with the ball, leading by 6. Into the front court comes James West, the 6'1 graduate from Woodbridge, Virginia. Gets a screen at the top, dribbles on the right wing. Now Gibson, 15 seconds to shoot. Picked up on a switch at the top by T.J. Brown. Left wing to Justin Mitchell, back to the top from Trenton Gibson. Gibson drives, scoops, shoots, shot, blocked. Gibson knocked to the floor, got his shot blocked away and taken away by Newberry. Ahead to Shepard, between the legs, entry pass down low. McCullum spins, reverse layup, put it up and in. Day McCullum with the reverse layup on the baseline. And Newberry back within 4, 37-33, 17:45 left to go. And a turnover on the Pioneers. Looking back door for Justin Mitchell. It's tipped and taken away underneath. Three-pointer for the quarter. Shot short, rebound battled for, and a jump ball will be the call. And the Pioneers will have the basketball on the alternate arrow. So a team rebound credited to the Pioneers, as the Pioneers will have it, leading by 4, 17:33 left to play in the game. Pioneers, that is 5 of 17 from 3. Justin Mitchell brings it across the timeline into the hands of Joshua Scott. Hands it off to Gibson. Backs his way down at the free throw line. Kicks it back to the top, and Brandon Mitchell. Mitchell holds it high, needs help. 5 seconds count is on, and on the dribble drive, a reach-in foul is going to be called on Newberry. It's going to go against Day McCullum. That'll be his first. It's the team's first on Newberry of the second half. And the Pioneers will inbound side front court in the person of Trenton Gibson. 20 seconds to shoot. Gibson gets it in, gets it back, sets it up at the top. On the right wing, James West kicks it into the corner. Three-pointer on the way from Justin Mitchell. Rolls off, no. Rebound, Scott lost it. Newberry takes it away. Day McCullum. Outlet feed to T.J. Brown. Had to save it from going out of bounds into the hands of Shepard. Shepard will drive. Kick out to Brown. Head fake from 3. Dribbles in the paint. Now backs it back out and dribbles on the right wing. Justin Mitchell comes out to defend. Brown drives. Picks up by Gibson. Stripped by Mitchell on his way up and out of bounds. And it'll be off of the Pioneers, and Newberry will inbound on the baseline with 10 seconds on the shot clock. 37-33 the score. Pioneers with the lead. Ford into Strimlow. Strimlow backs his way down, turns on Brandon Mitchell and puts it up and in. Strimlow just outworking the defender on the low block, and Newberry now down by 2. Down by as many as 14. Now they trail by 2. 16:20 to play in the game. Left wing, James West looks to drive, gets cut off, now picks up the dribble on the left wing. Kicks it back to the top, and Gibson. Ford comes out to defend. Gibson dribbles at the free throw line, picks up the dribble, goes underneath to Brandon Mitchell, who puts it up and in. Nice recognition from Trenton Gibson to find Brandon Mitchell underneath, who puts it up and in. Pioneers by 4. Shepard drives, fadeaway jumper on its way, short, no. Rebound Gibson, Pioneers in transition. Outlet feed, Scott, who lays it up and in. Gibson finds Joshua Scott, and the Pioneers push their lead back up to 6. T.J. Brown goes between the legs, and an offensive foul is going to be called on T.J. Brown as Brown pushes over Trenton Gibson, and it takes us to immediate timeout. 60 seconds from Pioneer Arena. 15:39 left to play in the second half. Your score, Tusculum 41, Newberry 35. This is Pioneer men's basketball on the Pioneer Sports Network. By 4 at halftime. They pushed the lead to 6 at 41-35. 15:39 left to play in this game. Then the winner takes on the winner of Queens and Catawba. As the Pioneers will have the basketball as James West walks it across the timeline, picked up at the top by T.J. Brown. Entry pass, Brandon Mitchell. Mitchell backs his way down on McCollum, kicks it out in the corner in West. West dribbles in the paint, floater from in front, off the glass and in. James West gets the bucket, and the Pioneers lead by 8. A tip for the steal. Mitchell with the steal. Outlet feed, Gibson lost it on his way up. Saved. And they'll say he stepped on the baseline. The Pioneers will keep possession. A missed transition opportunity for the Pioneers, but they'll retain possession of the basketball and inbound on the baseline. Gibson to trigger it in for the Pioneers. 43-35 the score. As the Pioneers have gotten 11 points from Mitchell, 8 from Joshua Scott. Gibson to trigger the inbounds play for Tusculum. Gibson lobs it to the top, and Justin Mitchell. Left wing feed, Joshua Scott. Gibson, step back three, in, out, no. Rebound pulled down by Newberry. Strimlow comes down with a rebound for the Wolves. Wolves with the basketball down by 8, 14:45 left to play in the second half. Marcus Ford, right wing to McCollum. Nice dish underneath, lays it up and in to Strimlow. That was just a great play set up by the Newberry Wolves as Strimlow gets the easy layup on the backdoor cut. (43-37) the score. Scott between the legs on the baseline. Double team comes now on the left wing, and Justin Mitchell. Right wing feed to Trenton Gibson. Gibson, crossover dribble, drives all the way to the hoop. Tough shot, count it, one. Trenton Gibson gets the bucket. He'll be at the line trying to complete the three-point play. As the foul called on Marcus Ford. Gibson, free throw. He is good.
Hey.
46-37 now the score. Pioneers by 9 off the three-point play from Trenton Gibson. Joseph with the basketball at the top of the circle. Driving, Marcus Ford. McCollum at the free throw line. Drives on Vetter and puts it up and in. Vetter gets the bucket. Trims the Tusculum lead to 7. 13:25 left to play in the game. Gibson drives, shot, rolls, in, out, no good. Got his own rebound, put it on the floor, lost it. Newberry takes it away. No need to dribble when you're that close to the bucket. Joseph on the left wing will wait and get the basketball from Marcus Ford.
Hey, watch the post up coming.
Ford dribbles on the right wing. Justin Mitchell comes out to defend.
He's popping,
Gibson now on Ford. Ford dribbles to the free throw line. Entry pass down low. McCollum gets by Vetter, puts it up and in. Vetter lays it up and in. Jason Taylor wants timeout. We go to break. 12:54 left to play second half. It's Tusculum 46, Newberry 41. This is Pioneer Men's Basketball on the Pioneer Sports Network. Pioneer basketball coming into the timeout. Newberry head coach Jason Taylor pretty much called that timeout just to plead his case with the official, and I'm not going to lie, I agree with him. They called a bump foul on the made bucket from Trenton Gibson, and Tusculum with the same contact against Newberry in the paint on Newberry's last 2 trips down the floor, and Newberry not getting that same call. Going to work underneath is Nutty Legist. He'll lay it up and in. The Pioneers push the lead back to 7, 48-41. As Legist gets his first 2 points of the basketball game. Check that, he gets his 4th point of the basketball game. And the Pioneers lead by 7. McCullum at the top. Underneath, shot, no. Strimlow draws the foul, and he'll be at the line to shoot 2. And that's the exact contact we were talking about, and it's the exact call that Jason Taylor pleaded his case for during the last time out. Whether officials will admit it or not, sometimes coaches do talk their way into calls. It may not be the call they didn't like, but the next one, a lot of times will go that way. That's just part of coaching. Good work from Jason Taylor. First free throw is no good, however, from Malachi Strimlow. He'll be back to the free throw line to shoot a second. Second free throw is up and in. 48-42 now the score. Pioneers with the lead and the basketball. The foul called on Jacob Joseph, on Hobbs was his first. Newberry with the steal, outlet feed T.J. Brown, and T.J. Brown puts it up and in. Newberry back within 4, 48-44, 11:50 left to play second half. Trenton Gibson gets a screen at the top from Nutty Legist. Right wing to Hobbs. Entry pass Legist. Turns, spins baseline, pull up, stripped of the basketball, and taken away by Marcus Ford. Newberry forces another turnover. Left wing Brown, back to Ford. 20 seconds to shoot. Newberry with the basketball now, down by only 4 once again. Here to the deep right corner. This is Joseph. Pull up 3, 4, no, but a foul. And it takes us to immediate timeout. Newberry will shoot 3 free throws when we come back. It's Tusculum 48, Newberry 44. 11:22 left to play in the second half. This is Pioneer men's basketball on the Pioneer Sports Network. As Tusculum swept the regular season series and have won 6 of the last 7 against Newberry, and the Pioneers won the 2 regular season games convincingly, 73-55 and 73-57. But this one, a battle. Marcus Ford at the line, shooting 3. The foul was called on Jalen Crowder, his first, team third. The second free throw from Ford is good, and he'll have a third. Balance scoring from Newberry. Ford with 9 now after the made free throw. Brown with 5, Robinson with 5, Strimlow with 5, and Joseph with 5. 48-46 now the score. Crowder brings it into the front court for the Pioneers and promptly turns it over. McCullum with the steal, stripped from behind by Crowder and out of bounds. So good catch-up D after the turnover by Crowder. And I said it was McCollum. It was actually Malik Joseph with the steal. James West and Justin Mitchell back into the game for the Pioneers as Hobbs comes out. And Jalen Crowder will come out. Marcus Ford gets it in for Newberry. Flashing through the lane. Joseph puts it up. No. Battle for the rebound underneath, and Trenton Gibson comes away with it for Tusculum. 48-46, Pioneers lead, but by only 2. 10:55 left to play in the game. West, Gibson, Mitchell, Legist. A lot of contact in the paint, no call. And Newberry came away with the rebound, and then a foul going to be called on the rebound on Joshua Scott. The foul called on Joshua Scott, his first, team fourth, as Scott was trying to tie up the basketball, but he really had the neck of the Newberry offensive player. 48-46, Newberry with the basketball, down by 2. Now with it on the right wing, Sherman Robinson. Ford gets it back, dribbles left wing. James West comes out to defend. Ford drives, leaves it underneath for Robinson, and it's lost out of bounds off of Tusculum. 4 seconds on the shot clock. As Ford will inbound underneath, shot no, but a foul. And Malachi Strimlow will earn a trip to the free throw line as the foul called on Joshua Scott, his second. It's the team's 5th. And Strimlow to the free throw line, where in the game he's 1 of 2. He can tie the game with both free throws. Free throw is up and in. So Strimlow makes good on the first. He'll have a second. With 10:17 to play in the game, he can tie the game. Strimlow, free throw. Back iron, no good. Tipped out. Newberry comes away with the offensive rebound. Malik Joseph with the rebound for the Wolves. 10:10 left to play in the game. Joseph drives. Kick out. Ford. Ford pulls up the dribble. 1 of the 3. It wasn't there. Goes to Robinson. Back to Ford. Ford goes to work on West. Drives. Floater from in front. Rolls in good. Newberry takes their first lead of the basketball game. At the 9:49 mark of this game, Newberry leads for the first time. Down by 14 points in the first 15 minutes of this game. Newberry leads by 1. 9:40 left to play. James West, left wing, Trenton Gibson. 10 seconds to shoot. Gibson lost the handle. It's stripped and taken away by Ford. Outward feed, Joseph picked up the dribble, leaves it at the top of the circle into the hands of Robinson. Robinson to Ford. Goes between the legs at the top. Brandon Mitchell comes out to defend. Ford waits, gets the screen from Robinson. Now goes right wing to T.J. Brown for 3. That one's off the mark. Rebound tipped. Newberry scrambles for it. Gibson gets there and ties up the basketball. Jump ball is the call. Newberry will retain possession on the alternate arrow. Into the game for Newberry comes DeVario Shepard. And in for the first time is Jalen Johnson, a 6'4 sophomore from Sumter, South Carolina. And returning is Date McCollum. 9:05 left to play in the game. Newberry by 1 with the basketball. Joseph dribbles in to Ford at the top of the circle. 15 seconds to shoot. With it at the top, McCollum. McCollum drive, shot, blocked out of bounds by Brandon Mitchell. And Newberry will inbound on the baseline with 8 seconds on the shot clock. Marcus Ford to get it in for the Wolves. Ford goes into McCollum. Backs his way down on Mitchell. Shot short, no. Got his own rebound. Puts it up and in. Count it in 1. The foul called on the Pioneers, Brandon Mitchell. The bucket is good. Newberry leads by 3, and Day McCullum at the line trying to complete the three-point play as Naughty Legist back into the game for the Pioneers as Brandon Mitchell will go out. Newberry has outscored the Pioneers 10-2 in the last 8 minutes. 52-48 the score. They've outscored them 11-2 in the last 8 minutes now. And James West with the basketball going to work on Marcus Ford. Gets a screen from Legist. Now Trenton Gibson from the top. Another air ball from 3 on Trenton Gibson. That has not been his night. Into the basketball game returns KJ Crump for the Pioneers as Trenton Gibson will go out. 52-48 the score. Newberry with the lead and the basketball. 8:29 left to play in the game. Dribbling on the right wing, Shepard. Hands it off Day McCullum. Crump keeping up with Ford. Left wing, Shepard. Lost the handle. Scramble for it on the floor. Pioneers had it. Newberry rips it back. 10 seconds to shoot. McCullum hands it off to Ford. Crump comes out to defend. 4 seconds to shoot. Ford will force one. Side iron, no. Tipped around. And Nutty Legist comes away with it for the Pioneers. He chinned that rebound just like you're supposed to. KJ Crump with the basketball for the Pioneers. Mitchell to Crump. Back to the top and Mitchell. Left wing to West. Mitchell. Scott. Mitchell. Drives. Shoots. Scores. Justin Mitchell stops the scoring drought for the Pioneers. Pulls Tusculum back to within 2. 52-50 the score. 7:25 left to play in the game. Shepard goes between the legs, hands it off to Day McCullum. Crump has done a phenomenal job shutting down Ford since he has come into the basketball game. Crump, the player for the Pioneers that can handle the speed from Ford. McCullum, shot, short, rebound, Pioneers. Justin Mitchell with the rebound for Tusculum, and into the front court comes Tusculum. Crump, Legist, back to the top, and Mitchell. Mitchell drives. And it's tipped out of bounds off of Newberry, and it takes us to immediate timeout. 60 seconds from Pioneer Arena. Your score with 6:55 to play in the game. It's Newberry 52, Tusculum 50. This is Pioneer Men's Basketball on the Pioneer Sports Network. Push that lead to as many as 4, and the Pioneers have cut it back to 2, and that's where we stand with 6:55 to play in the game. Pioneers led in scoring in this game by Justin Mitchell by 13 points, but it's really been the play of KJ Crump who has come in and finally slowed down Marcus Ford. Crump with the basketball for the Pioneers. Left wing. Into the hands of West. Mitchell. West drives. Nice shot off the glass. No, but a foul. And West will be to the free throw line to shoot a pair for the Pioneers as the foul goes on Day McCullum. That'll be his second. It's the team's 4th. And West to the free throw line to shoot 2. and he can tie the game with both free throws. 5 points in the game for West. It's his first trip to the free throw line. West free throw is good. West makes good on the first. He'll have a second.
Hey, KJ, watch the comeback. Coming back to you, KJ. Pop into the big blue screen.
Second free throw is up and in. So West makes good on both, and he has tied our game at 52. 52 all with 6:39 left to play. KJ Crump all over Ford, and that has been a fun battle to watch. That is two of the quickest guards in the South Atlantic Conference, one of which a freshman for the Pioneers. Ford, drive, shot, good. Marcus Ford gets the best of Crump, lays it up and in, and Newberry leads by 2 once again, 54-52. Now the two go to work at the other end. Crump with the basketball, Ford all over Crump. Three-pointer on its way, well off the mark, off the hands of James West, and Newberry comes away with the rebound and a chance to extend their lead as they bring near to the front court. Head coach J.T. Burton screams out the defensive play. McCollum drives on Legist. Shot no. Rebound underneath from Strimlow, and a foul going to be called on the putback, as it'll go against Nutty Legist, his second. That'll get William Vetter up off the bench along with Brandon Mitchell. Trenton Gibson also set to check in for the Pioneers. As Strimlow to the free throw line to shoot a pair. 54-52, Newberry with the lead. 5:41 left to play in the game. Strimlow, first free throw is on its way, no good. So West comes out along with Legist and Joshua Scott. And Strimlow back to the free throw line for Newberry. Strimlow's second free throw is up and in. 55-52, Newberry with the lead. Pioneers with the basketball as Crump brings it across the timeline. Crump gets a screen from Brandon Mitchell. Crossover dribble, now dribbles on the right wing, hands it off to Trenton Gibson to Brandon Mitchell. Mitchell back to Gibson. Gibson drives all the way to the hoop, puts it up off the glass and in. Trenton Gibson puts it up and in. Justin Mitchell nearly steals the inbounds pass in backcourt, but Shepard comes up with it and brings it into the front court for the Wolves. Now T.J. Brown at the top. Ford trying to get away from Crump. Brown will keep it. He will drive. Now needs help. Gibson tipped it, took it away. Now a scramble for the basketball, and a jump ball will be the call. And a little bit of extracurriculars, but the two officials, especially the officials, do a good job of separating the two players. And the Pioneers will have the basketball on the alternate arrow. Timeout Tusculum. 4:54 left to play in the basketball game. It's Newberry 55, Tusculum 54. This is Pioneer Men's Basketball on the Pioneer Sports Network. Pioneer basketball coming out of the called timeout by Pioneer head coach J.T. Burton. As Tusculum down by 1. Gibson to get it in backcourt. Does to Brandon Mitchell, who hands it right back to Trenton Gibson, who holds it on the left wing. Gets the instruction from head coach J.T. Burton. Now on the right wing to Justin Mitchell. Back to the top and Gibson. 15 seconds to shoot for the Pioneers. 4:35 to play in the game. Gibson dribbles in, goes between the legs. Goes back out to the left wing. Gibson kicks to the top and Vetter. Drive, shot goes up and over the backboard. And it'll be out of bounds and back over to Newberry. Newberry to inbound against full court pressure from the Pioneers. Crump has done a phenomenal job denying the basketball from Ford. Ford now with it, dribbling at the top. Crump comes out to defend. Ford now dribbles on the right wing, gets it into the hands of Shepard. Back to the top and Day McCullum. Here to the deep right corner. Now back to the top and Shepard. Hands it off to Joseph. Now Ford doesn't see it. Shot clock expires. Pioneer defense forces a shot clock violation, which takes us to immediate timeout. So we go back to break. 3:53 to play in the game. It's Newberry 55, Tusculum 54. This is Pioneer men's basketball on the Pioneer Sports Network. Pioneer basketball coming out of the media timeout. Both teams have shot pretty well in this game. After Newberry started the game poorly from the floor, found themselves down by 17 points. Have battled back, taking the lead. They're shooting 46% from the floor for the game. The Pioneers 48% from the floor for the game. Pioneers with the basketball down by 1. Entry pass, down low, Vetter. Lost the handle, out of bounds. And it'll stay with the Pioneers. As they say, it's off of Newberry. KJ Crump at 5'7" will trigger the inbounds play underneath his own bucket. Crump gets it into Mitchell. Mitchell spins baseline. Kicks it out to Gibson. Gibson with 5. Gibson with 4. Will fire for 3. Shot short, no. Rebound Newberry. Jalen Crowder pulls down the rebound, gets it into the hands of Ford, and he goes to work on Crump once again. That's far and away been the most entertaining matchup of this game. Day McCullum with it at the top. Hands it off at the top to Shepard. Drives all the way to the bucket. Shot blocked off the backboard by Brandon Mitchell and taken off the backboard by Crump. Left wing Gibson. Three-pointer on its way. In, out, no. Rebound. And a foul going to be called on the rebound. Going to go against Newberry. As that will be on T.J. Brown. The foul on Brown, his 3rd. It's the team's 5th. And the Pioneers will inbound underneath their own bucket with Justin Mitchell. Mitchell in for Brandon Mitchell. And they'll say it's out of bounds off of Brandon Mitchell and back over to Newberry. So the Pioneers can't take advantage of the break and the opportunity And Newberry will inbound in backcourt. Newberry with T.J. Brown brings it across the timeline against Justin Mitchell. Brown drives, floater off the glass, up and in. Well, that was too easy. Brown with the driving layup, and Newberry leads by 3, 57-54. 2:32 left to play in the game. Shot, no. Rebound, Mitchell, and a foul going to be called on the Wolves on the rebound. The foul called on T.J. Brown. That'll be his 4th. 6th team foul on Newberry, so the Pioneers not into bonus yet. Justin Mitchell that triggered the inbounds pass for Tusculum. Mitchell lobs to the top, and Brandon Mitchell hands it off to Trenton Gibson on the left wing. 15 seconds to shoot for the Pioneers. James West, skip past Justin Mitchell. Double team trap comes to the top, and Gibson leaves it for West for 3. Got it! 3-point basket, James West, and he's tied the game at 57. 2:05 left to play in the game on the James West three-pointer to give him his 10th point of the game. Newberry driving. Shepard puts it up and in. Timeout, Newberry. So Newberry reclaims the lead, 59-57. And head coach Jason Taylor calls a 30-second timeout. 1:56 left to play in the game. As the Pioneers struggling to get one to go from the floor, get a clutch three-pointer from James West to tie the game at 57. But just as quick as they do at the other end, Newberry gets another driving layup. The story of this game offensively for Newberry has been the dribble drive. The Pioneers have not been able to cut off the paint, and Newberry has made a living dribbling all the way to the bucket and laying it up and in. They lead by 2 to the Newberry Wolves in a win-or-go-home tournament matchup. And for the Pioneers, it's win or go home for the rest of the season. The winner of this game to do battle with the winner of Queens versus Catawba in Greenville, South Carolina on Saturday. But still plenty left to play here. Gibson dribbling on the left wing. Now to Brandon Mitchell at the top. Lob pass inside. Vetter turns. Fadeaway shot. Rolls off. No. Rebound Newberry. 1:35 to play. Ford brings it into the front court for the Pioneers. Picked up at the top by James West. Dribbling on the right wing. Into the hands of T.J. Brown. Justin Mitchell comes out to defend. Lob pass inside. Tipped by Vetter, but right into the hands of DeVario Shepard. Entry pass, Day-Day McCullum. Tough shot, rolls off, no. Rebound tipped. Scramble for it, out of bounds, off of Tusculum. And Newberry will keep possession of the basketball. Nadi Legis checks into the game for Tusculum as Brandon Mitchell will go out. 1:03 to play in the game. Newberry with a 20-second shot clock reset will inbound underneath their own bucket. Ford to get it in. Into Shepard. Top of the circle, T.J. Brown. On the right wing to Marcus Ford. Ford drives, head fake. Got a lot of contact and draws the foul. And Ford will be to the free throw line to shoot a pair. The foul called on Nadi Legist, his 3rd, team 8th. And Marcus Ford, who has 14 points in the basketball game, will be to the line to shoot a pair with his team leading by 2. Ford, free throw, short, no good. So it remains a one-possession game. Joshua Scott checks in. William Vetter will come out. And Marcus Ford will be back to the free throw line to shoot his 2nd. Second free throw, good. 3-point basketball game. As Malik Joseph checks in and DeVario Shepard goes out for Newberry. 55 seconds to play. Pioneers with the basketball, down by 3. Trenton Gibson hands it off to Justin Mitchell. Mitchell to Gibson off a screen. Gibson drives, shoots, counted one! Trenton Gibson with the hoop and the harm, and he'll be at the line trying to complete the three-point play, and in doing so could tie this game at 60. With a foul called on Newberry on Malik Joseph. That'll be his first. It's the team's 7th. And Trenton Gibson at the line, trying to complete the three-point play. Rolls off, no. Rebound, Newberry. Wolves basketball leading by 1 with 35 seconds left to play in this game. Ford brings it into the front court. There is a 12-second differential between game clock and shot clock. And Jason Taylor wants timeout. Timeout, Wolves. It's a full timeout. We keep it right here. 27.5 seconds left to go in the game. Newberry 60, Tusculum 59. And again, I've belabored the point, but Tusculum led this game by 17 with 7:04 left to play in the first half. After that, Newberry came alive, and they've used the dribble drive to get to the bucket and get the easy layups, and they battled all the way back to take as much as a 4-point lead in this game. And the Pioneers on a clutch James West three-pointer tied the game at 57. Newberry quickly came to the other end, reclaimed the lead at 59-57. And on one free throw made from Marcus Ford, pushed that lead to 60-57 before the Pioneers brought it back to 1. The Pioneers could have tied with a Trenton Gibson free throw that would have completed a three-point play, but the Gibson free throw was no good, and that's where we sit with 27.5 seconds left to play. The 2-seed Queens tied with the 7-seed Catawba at 34. That game in the second half. A low-scoring affair from Charlotte. Newberry to inbound, side front court. T.J. Brown, the 6'4 junior from Columbia, South Carolina, to get it in. Gets it into Ford. So would I. I would want the basketball in that young man's hands. Ford going to work on James West. 5 seconds to shoot. Ford drives. High off the glass. No. Rebound. Tip. Out of bounds. And they'll say it is off of Tusculum. And Newberry will retain possession with 13 seconds left to play in the game. The shot clock is turned off. So the Pioneers got the missed shot but could not secure the rebound. Ford to get it in. The Pioneers are going to have to foul once Newberry gets it in. That's who you want to foul. They lob it into Date McCullum, and he will be to the free throw stripe for Newberry. McCullum, who is 2 of 3 from the free throw line in this game. Newberry is out of timeouts. The first free throw from McCullum is no good. Tusculum down by 1 with the basketball with 8 seconds. Gibson with 7 seconds. Gibson with 5 seconds. Gets bumped with 3 seconds. Double team trap comes underneath. Shot, block, no good. Newberry pulls the upset. The Pioneers had the chance to get the bucket at the end of the game, but a scramble underneath. The shot attempted by the Pioneers was blocked away, and the Newberry Wolves come on the road and knock off the 3-seed Tusculum. For the Pioneers, some great careers come to an end on the home floor as the Pioneers in search of their 20th win of the year in a season in which they won their most conference games in school history at 19. It all comes to an end here at home tonight as Newberry upsets Tusculum. The 3-seed Tusculum falls at the hands of the 7-seed Newberry by the final score. Newberry 60, Tusculum 59. This is Pioneer men's basketball on the Pioneer Sports Network.